Welcome to Lanterns Live, the only live stream channel dedicated solely to the Green Lantern universe. I'm Ralph, and I'm joined by Vactor, but we're not talking about Green Lantern Corps today. Vactor, you've been wanting me to do this for a long time. I fizzled out, and you've been pushing for me to get back going on this book. And so what I did was I went back and I reread the first two issues, and then continued the first volume up through issue 6 of Absolute Green Lantern, which is a crazy book. But before we get into that, I was hanging out with my wife on Saturday. We came home, and in my mail, I found something in the mailbox, or not in the mailbox, just sitting on my front door. Was this Supergirl, this DC Compact comic series of Supergirl One Minute Tomorrow? I haven't been able to pick it up yet and read it because I was reading Absolute Green Lantern. But I'd like to thank you for sending me this book. I am so excited because this is my first compact comic, and I really like the format. I had a shelf set aside on my desk, but it's this short. My shelf is this short, so I have to find a different place for these. But I seriously, my birthday's coming up, and I put a bunch of these on my wish list, and this was the number one that I wanted to read because of the Supergirl movie coming up. Man, this art is amazing. Yes. So I'm excited to check this out. Thank you so much. I totally appreciate it. David's here. He said paper comics forever. As much as I love them, it's so like just take up space. They take up space. These are nice and compact.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'm pretty excited. I might be able to figure out a way to get these on the shelf, but I could get at least 10 of these and have them like in a perfect spot on my shelf. So that's awesome. Will's here as well.
What up, Will?
How's it going? I'll be talking to Will next week. Green Lantern 31.
And Will just had a birthday. Happy birthday, Will.
Yes. Happy birthday. Was it yesterday? It was only yesterday, right? It's been a long week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. I'm very limited space. It's so limited that like I always have my camera pointed to a corner of my room because there's just no room in here to like do this do the show. It's the only corner in this small apartment where I can do things. Besides, I've been reading digital for since like 2009, I think, something like that. Whenever Comixology first started, I have a ton of Green Lantern. I got to do this. Maybe I'll do this for February's live stream. But I got a ton of Green Lantern hardcovers from pre-Jeff Johns era and Jeff Johns era, pretty much stopping at like the Venditti stuff. I have New 52. Yeah, I have some things. I have a Green Lantern War Journal 1 and 2. But yeah, I'm excited to sit down and read this. I had mentioned last week this guy at work, Michael, who's a big fan of the JSA and Alan Scott. I'd recommend that he check out Tim Sheridan's book, Alan Scott the Green Lantern, which Tim Sheridan will be here in 2 weeks from today at this very time to talk about that book. And he went and he read it based on my recommendation, which was based off of Will's recommendation, which made me very, very excited. I got to work on Tuesday. We had Monday off. Went to work on Tuesday, and he told me that he went to a local comic book shop, picked up a compact comic of Far Sector based on my recommendation. Ooh. So Michael's really getting into that, and I was like, okay, I need to know where this comic book shop is where I can just go pick up some compact comics and start filling out my shelf.
Yeah.
Even though I just read Far Sector, I kind of would like a physical copy as well, because I feel like if I have physical copies laying around, my wife is more inclined to read them.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, she doesn't read comics digitally. She reads everything digitally though. She's had since I've known her. I'm looking at a shelf that has one, two, three, four, five, six different Kindles on it, and then there's a
Dang.
Kindle up on her side of the bed. She just reads and reads and reads and reads, but she doesn't read comics. So I
Oh,
figure if I have, she's excited to read this as well. So I'll hand this off to her when I'm done with it, hopefully fairly soon because I can't wait. So thanks again for this. Um, I can't wait, and I can't wait to get more of those. So
you are gonna love
I'm
that.
gonna get back into this. I've never really finished Watchmen. I've tried and I've tried and I've tried to read
Oh,
Watchmen. It's a little too dense for me, but I think I can get through it this time if I just sat down with an actual
yes,
physical book.
yes.
I want to reread Justice League New Frontier, Darwin Cook's book, which is very Green Lantern centric. I think Allison picked up that compact comic and might have her on to
Nice.
to discuss that because it
Oh
is such
man.
a Green Lantern heavy
Hmm.
book. And then there's a few. There's even like they even have Rebirth, Green Lantern
Oh,
Rebirth, as a compact comic. I'm like, that's strange, but
whoa.
I'm like, if I'm gonna fill up my shelf and support this thing, I want it to happen. And I want to talk to Tim Sheridan about getting his Alan Scott book. I think it's the perfect book for compact comics. Um, I feel like compact comics are a good way for like kids to get into reading comic books, and they're usually they skew. It seems like they skew. Uh, I don't know how you would say there's classic DC. Like some of them are definitely classic DC.
Right.
There is Injustice, I think, is one of them, which
Oh,
is I feel is like more modern. But
yeah.
things like Watchmen, The Dark Knight Returns, stuff like that are on there. Rebirth, I think, is fine since it's like probably one of the most. Um, it's probably one of the bigger comic events to happen to like Green Lantern in the last 20 years, or
Yes.
I guess like 21 years now. So yeah, I'm fired up, and I'm glad you sent that over. It's open to floodgate because I'll have a collector's mentality going into this. I'm gonna want to start collecting all even stuff I'm not really interested in. I'm like, if it's on a compact comic, there must be some sort of reason why they must feel it's important enough to do this reprint because they do have Watchmen and Dark Knight Rises and or Dark Knight Returns and stuff like that. I don't think they'd have Dark Knight Rises, but yeah, thank you very very much. It's amazing.
Yes.
It looks
I
like we
can't
got
wait
some
to read
folks
that.
in the chat today. Holy smokes! Rob is here. Wonder Rob. Um, Pointing at the corner adds depth of field. Yeah, I kind of like it. I wish if it was more centered and had a thing. And also, this is kind of I always hate this. This is boring. And if I do keep it open, it usually just gets blown out. And even if you could see what's back there, it's literally just looking down at cars parked in our apartment complex. Um, yeah, it's taken a while for me to get this set up. It's gone through the years and changed and has morphed throughout the years. Um, so yeah, uh, Rail fans Kabong is here. Hello, and Miguel Diaz is here as well. Um, so let me just I mean, God, we just talked. I feel like we just talked. I was going to say how things are going. I got a message sent from Will today that you know what I'm going to download and I'm going to pass this along. I'm hoping I could show this. This is an image that he sent to me without any sort of explanation. This is as it dropped into my text messages with no comment. Shh. From Funko.
What?
Lanterns, new series. I'm in the secret room. New product on shelf September 2026.
Ooh.
So I'm assuming this is some sort of display case either at Funko headquarters or it is at a convention or something. But this pretty much does confirm. I mean, if this is an official, I can do all kinds of stuff with Photoshop. You all saw, was that last week? It was last Friday where I created Funko Pops to look like the first promo image. Um, is this enough to say Funko? I didn't really bring it up last week. I did, or did I? I really don't like Funko. I used to. I used to like Funko, but when they bought Mondo, I'm a vinyl collector. I collect vinyl records. Here's my Mothra vinyl, which matches my shirt. I have a
Nice.
whole bunch of vinyl just sitting down here, all my kaiju stuff, and I love vinyl records. And when Funko took over Mondo, the vinyl record stuff kind of took a back seat to the collectibles,
Yeah.
and that kind of bums me out. And what's funny is a lot of my friends are into Mondo and like their Masters of the Universe line and stuff. I get that. I get it. They're cool figures. And a lot of them do shows and talk to who's now the head of Funko or the head of Mondo. Um, um, I won't say their name, but that person bugs me big time because I've seen him on shows that my friends do, and he drives me nuts. Drives me nuts, and it's mostly personal. It's mostly personal. So here's the thing: I was at an event. It was like WonderCon or something, right? And I was purchasing something. I think it was a 3PO wallet, like a Loungefly wallet for my wife, or I was picking up a Godzilla record for myself. And I was doing a transaction at Mondo's booth, and here I am talking straight one on one with somebody about completing this transaction, filling out, doing the card, and signing and doing all that stuff like you do. Next to me was Attack Peter, who is now running Mondo. He was talking to someone, and he was like talking to him in this, and he like pointed off to something in the con, and his hand basically went like this as he pointed. He right in front of my face, not acknowledging me, not saying, "Oh, I'm sorry," and I was just like, I'm like, what is that? Who does that? Who who points right across someone's bow? Like it was like this far from my face, his finger,
That's weird.
as he was talking to someone and just like not noticing a dude doing a transaction and just showing like, and I was just like sitting there staring at this finger in my face. And I'm like, God, this guy, what's this guy's deal? And then he became the sort of head of Mondo when the founders of Mondo, who happened to be friends of mine, Spencer and Mo, um, and um, they left. So he became the head of that
Dang.
company after they
I
left. So
I
it's
thought you
it's
could
more of a it's kind of a grudge. It's kind of more of a personal thing. But I mean, we're all busy and cons are busy and stuff. But spatial awareness is something that I
Yeah,
really like to
that
take into
is
account. Yeah,
very strange. I thought you were gonna say he put his finger in your nose. I was like, wait a minute, what? That was
that
weird.
would have been
That's
funny. See, I would have laughed at that because it would have been an accident. And he would have probably noticed me and apologized, but nothing. I was
yeah,
just like, "Are you kidding me? Like you were like this close to like poking my eye out." Anyway,
yeah, that's weird.
so I ended up I had every Green Lantern Funko Pop available to me, which wasn't a lot, and I kind of sold those at a really good discount to Donnie over at Emerald Enthusiast. Um, and so he's enjoying those. He has no
Nice.
beef with Funko or Mondo or whatever. Um, so that's great. I think I have two. I think I have two pops still. One is a Sir Isaac Lime from Otter Pops, and the other is Drunk Uncle. I have three. I have three. My friend Bobby, who played Drunk Uncle, I have that, and then my friend Jorge's, I have that. So
Nice. My
anyway,
wife and son got me a personalized, like a me pop,
mm-hmm.
and I have a comic book in my hand and a bowl of ramen in my hand. That one I will not sell. I'm gonna keep that
Right, right. Yeah,
one.
it's just one of those things. Um, I'm I'm afraid that well, I want Lanterns to be popular for sure, right? We all want Lanterns to be popular, get a second season for the world to turn around, or turn a corner and be like cool with Green Lantern again. Like we all want that. I'm mortified if they release like a Kyle Chandler or Aaron Pierre Hot Toys figure because those are pricey and I need to get one of those. You know?
Your wallet is afraid right now. Yes.
Yeah, good thing I got this job. I've owned one hot toy, and it was back in 2008. I was working at the comic book shop, and they came out with a Predator, Dutch
Ooh.
Schaefer, the Arnold hot toys, and I was like, I gotta get this. And I think back then hot toys were around like 250 or something. I think now they're like
Dang.
upwards to like three. In 2011, they threatened to make a Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern one. And again, I even whatever you think about the movie, I think it's fine. It's just not this full scope of what Green Lantern can be.
Right.
But if they had released that, I would have gotten it. And I guess they were struggling. I guess they were struggling creating the suit for that
Mm,
figure. And then after the movie, kind of like nobody cared about the movie, like it didn't have legs. They just like canceled it.
dang.
But man, dude, like, am I gonna have to buy two Hot Toys figures? Am I gonna have to buy an Aaron
Ooh.
Pierre and Kyle Chandler Hot Toy figure? Like,
Dang. Man, if they could get them in the suits, because
yeah.
I don't, I don't, I don't want them in their street clothes. I want them in the lantern suits.
What could I tell you something? I'd want both. I'd want both.
Dang.
Um, which is tough. Which is tough.
I get it.
Um, yeah, yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I want to
Whew.
see the suits because I have a feeling no matter what the design is, I've got to like it, right? It can't be that bad. Like even though guys costume in Superman sort of deviated from the comics, I still that suit design has grown on me, and I think it's very Guy Gardner regardless. With
Yeah.
the fact that he has like the vest and stuff, I feel it still feels like Guy Gardner. I would 100% get that Guy Gardner as
Yeah.
a hot toy as well.
I get it. I had a similar thing with Spider-Man, who is my number one favorite. Actually, with the PlayStation game, so they changed the spider. The iconic suit has always been the red, blue, and the black spider. So for the
Mm,
PlayStation game, they made the spider white, and I was like,
right,
"What? Why would they make it white?" And then I played the game, and I'm like, "This is awesome because it sets it apart instantly. You know, when you see that
right.
white spider, you're like, oh, that's the PlayStation Spider-Man, and I love that game so much. It's actually my favorite. I call that first PlayStation game my favorite Spider-Man movie of all time because I love the
Mhm.
story so much.
Yeah,
And so that suit had to grow on me, and now it's one of my favorite designs.
right. Yeah, it's. I'm sure it's tough being a Spider-Man fan. I'm sure there's several Spider-Man hot toys out there.
Yeah,
That's the good thing about Green Lantern is no one's out there
limited.
clamoring to make a ton of Green Lantern merch. Like the Jessica Cruz came out this past week and it's sold out fast.
Ooh,
It sold out so fast. So, like that's good. I don't know if they made the amount of Jessica Cruzes that they would like David Corn sweats, but it's good for Green Lantern. It's good to show that the companies that people are willing to buy merch, but at the same time, I'm afraid of those floodgates opening and them just releasing all the merch that I need. I ordered you. You sent me a link last week to Hot Topic, and you said, "Oh, I think I'm going to pull the trigger." And they had the Guy Gardner Green Lantern ring on a necklace, but you could just clip off the rope part, and you have a ring. And so I went to that thing. I'm like, I don't want the Guy Gardner ring. I like this Hal Jordan one from the 2011 movie. And so I went to the Hot Topic site and was like, first of all, it's $13. So I'm like, okay, well, cool. Now you got my attention. But it was buy one, get two free. So for 13 bucks, I think it was $20 after shipping. I'm getting three of these things sent to me. And I might mod it and customize it so it looks more movie accurate. So it has like the darker green. Um, but and also like there's no way it's gonna fit my finger. There's no way it's gonna fit my finger. I got big meaty hands. Um, so yeah, it's good being a Green Lantern fan if you're someone that just again has very very limited shelf space. Like I love this dude that I got from Superpowers, but I can't get all the other toy lines that was released. You know, and I haven't gotten the Jessica because I would love a Jessica in Superpowers format, and hopefully the sales of that Jessica McFarlane figure shows that she can be, you can get her elsewhere. Yeah, and that's
Man.
great. It's great for my adventures with Green Lantern too.
Yes, yes.
More Jessica Cruz love. I'm sure there's a lot of kids out there who watch DC superhero girls and saw that there's a new Jessica Cruz toy and jumped all over it. So
Oh
I'm,
yeah.
I'm happy. I'm happy with that. I'm a big fan of what's going on with DC right now. It feels like it feels good. It feels good. Um,
Yes.
so
It's
fingers
crazy.
crossed.
Yes,
And
I am
we're
very happy.
we're in the back half of January, and a lot of people in the Green Lantern circles are saying that February is when we're finally going to start getting lanterns like trailers and stuff. So hopefully we'll get to see those suits real soon.
Yes, yes. I can't wait.
All
Yeah.
right, Vector, you got me to do it.
Yes,
You
yes.
got me to read Absolute Lantern, Absolute Green Lantern, which I just fizzled out. After that second issue, I was like, I don't know. Everything's so weird, and it's taken the lore of Green Lantern that I've come to love over my entire life and completely like has turned it on its head. And I was like, this is not for me. To the point where the second issue, all I talked about on that episode was cheeseburgers and Wendy's. I got Wendy's toys. I had a Wendy's Star Sapphire and a Wendy's John Stewart, I think, toys from their kids club
Yes.
meal or the
Oh yeah,
kids
I
meal.
forgot about that. Yeah.
It was a long time ago, so I have a
Yes.
lot of catching up to do. I'll tell you this: I just finished reading issue 6 today, and it was a tough, like that issue 6 was a tough place to leave off because it's like we're finally going to reveal some stuff to you, and it's going to be a lot of info, and it's so for me I'm like, okay, give me a bit and I will definitely 100% in the next few weeks or so when I have an open week tackle volume 2 because
Yes.
I was definitely it was definitely ramping up for me to be like, okay, when I reread issue 1 and 2, I was in a completely different mindset because I knew, hey, listen, everything's going to be different. These aren't your characters. These are completely reinvented versions of these characters. It's like they're the character names, but they're completely different. And so this time around, I was more prepared for that. And when I read the first time, I'm like, okay, these weren't that bad. These weren't that bad. Um, yeah. I'm interested to see where it goes. What you're really excited about this book, and you've read a lot farther than I have. I'll get there. I promise I'll get there. Um, Give me your general thoughts on the book and like highlights. What do you like about the book? Um, yeah.
Well, the whole reason I was so excited for you to dip your toe in is because of the absolute universe, because I have been enjoying absolute Batman, absolute Superman, absolute Wonder Woman. Absolute Martian Manhunter, which is actually my favorite out of all of them.
Mm,
And Absolute Green Lantern, I was like, oh man, this is Green Lantern. This is Ralph's book. This is the one that he
yeah.
could jump in on. And for anyone who is not familiar, basically the premise of the Absolute Universe is it's supposed to be the inverse of the regular DC 61. No, I was going to say 616. Sorry, that's Marvel. The regular DC Prime Earth universe
Right.
is supposed to be run on Superman energy. This Absolute Earth is run on dark side energy. And so it's like almost like the villains are winning in this universe. And you
Mhm.
see that even in Absolute Green Lantern, where they show you in the sixth issue, it actually shows you the color spectrum and kind of the order.
Right.
And black is on top. And it's like, wait a minute, that's kind of like what the opposite. And they even say in the book, like you can read it the opposite way too, like the levels that they
Mm,
go through in this the color spectrum, and that is 100% like what this whole Absolute Universe is supposed to be. They have a book called Absolute Evil where the first team that you see in this universe is not the Justice League. It's not the heroes teaming up. It's all the villains coming together and teaming up, and they're going after the heroes. So everything is kind of like the opposite and flipped on its head, and so that's what has been compelling for me of what is it like when Darkseid wins? Like when this whole universe, the heroes don't realize that they were supposed to be in a better place. Like they were not supposed to be the underdogs in this universe. And so with Absolute Green Lantern coming in, I was kind of like you, the same way I have my established Green Lantern
yeah.
lore and I know the history of Green Lantern, all of these things. And when the Absolute Universe showed up, it was like, wait a minute, Hal's like a bad guy? He's Black Hand? Like this
Yeah.
feels weird to me. And that's not the Joe that I know. That's not the John and the that's not these aren't the guys that I know, the guy that I know. And so those first issues were hard for me. And I wasn't a huge fan of the art.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so that also kind of it was a little hard for me to get into it initially, but then once I kept going, and then I was telling you off mic, I kind of I was behind, so I binged for this because I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to talk Absolute with Ralph, and so rereading like you going
Mhm.
back and saying, oh, you know what? Now that I kind of know a little bit more about the story and I know how it's supposed to go, my expectations aren't over here. Now I can kind of look at, oh yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was originally going into it.
Right.
So I had very similar things, but now that I'm all in, like now that I'm caught up, like this is one of my favorite books that's coming out on the shelves now because what happens, yeah, that six, the where you left off, the end of this first trade
Yeah.
is like, wait a minute, this just opened up like the universe, or this
It
opened
was
up
a lot.
everything. Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff. And one of the things that I struggle with too is um their use of phrases that happen in the DC universe, like um um the anomaly, for instance. They talk about the anomaly, and Joe is the anomaly, also known as the Tomar. And
Yes.
for me, I'm like, my brain can't just let that be a word. It has to be this dude, right?
Yes.
Like, this is what I think. I see Tomar, I think of this dude right here. And so for me, that's tough. It's really tough because I have to now recondition my brain to follow these new rules. Um, with this dark universe, which can be any of the other 52 universes or dimensions or whatever. David asks, could the absolute universe cross over one day with the regular? And I feel like that's something that a lot of people would like. It's there's always like, it's like if you look at Spider-Man No Way Home, like you want to see how different versions of the same character interact, like with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield with Tom Holland. Like, Like we were hoping for that forever. And then so for to get that sort of thing, like there's fan art out there of like Adam West, Linda Carter,
Yeah.
you know, or like Michael Keaton,
Mhm.
John Wesley Shipp, and like doing like sort of these Justice Leagues. Linda Carter's usually in all of them, but doing these Justice Leagues are crossovers with certain properties that kind of were around in the same time period. Um, it's I feel like of course I would love to see Jeremy Adams write a Hal Jordan versus this Hal Jordan because they're very very different people. Um,
Yes. Um, I have to. I don't. I don't want to spoil too much for you, but
okay,
Highball in the comments is you are on the right path. I'll say that. The latest issue, DCKO, the absolute heroes turn up. Like you see them, and DCKO is a regular universe book, so you do see them in that book.
yeah. Chad Chad mentions, yeah, the nonsensical doublespeak explaining everything really took me out of it, especially with issue 7. No, I was getting like tough. It was getting tough for me with issue 6, where John is sitting there in what they're calling Oa, which
Yes,
is more of a like Oa is not a
what do you
planet;
call
it's
it?
more of a realm or like an
Yes,
existential place. it's like a a black void, and then them using Mogo uh, as sort of this dark star, which is the source of like the dark hand that Hal sees visions of. So it's really really hard to rewire my old brain because my brain is
mm-hmm.
filled with like vacuum tubes and stuff, and they're trying to get like the latest silicone chips or whatever into my brain. And it's like the pieces just don't fit right. And so it's taking me a lot to really get into it. But I think at this point I have enough momentum where I'm like, I think I could keep going. I think I've got enough of it to keep going because I keep hearing like some of the most recent issues have been like pretty stellar. Um,
Yeah,
and I want
there's
to get to that point.
mm-hmm.
I
Yes.
know a lot of people say, "Hey, if you watch Star Trek: The Next Generation, just skip the first 3 seasons and start with
Yeah.
season 3 or whatever."
Yeah.
They all say that, and I'm like, I can't do that. I need to be a completist. But also, like, I don't mind sitting there and watching something like that or reading something like that if I know that I'll be rewarded down
Yes.
the road. And the way
Mm-hmm.
that you've been talking about it, the way Will's been talking about it, it seems like lately, and I don't know what issue you're all at right now.
Yeah, it's 10. I think 10 is the latest. It just came
Okay,
out.
so just you're four ahead of me. So I'm thinking the next trade will be issue 12. I'm assuming if they did the first one is the first 6. So I think what I'll
Yeah.
do is I'll come back and revisit this
Mm.
at 12. I do it that way, so that I have like nice big chunks. Because if I read it issue
Yes.
to issue, I find myself being like, I need more. I need more
Mm.
explanation. I need
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
story, and the 22 pages or whatever isn't enough to keep me interested.
Yeah.
It's the same with Justice League Red, which I'll be covering in about a week and a half, where I'm like, oh, that was really entertaining. I can't wait to read next month. Same thing for issue 3, same thing for issue 4, same thing with issue 5. But then issue 5, I was like, I really don't care about this. Like, it really wasn't great. Issue
Yeah.
5 really wasn't great. Um, so for me, knowing ahead of time, like people are enjoying these books. Um, I haven't read any of it, but I heard that Absolute Batman has been amazing.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yep.
so I'm sort of interested in checking out some of this stuff,
Yeah.
but for right now, because with Batman, everybody knows Batman, and there's been a billion different iterations of Batman. Like even if you just want to watch a Batman movie, like you can watch Ben Affleck, Adam West, Christian Bale, Michael Keaton. George Clooney, and they're all different. They're all different flavors. For Green Lantern, for me, it's been like one flavor.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
I don't,
Yeah.
and so for me, like I haven't read Green Lantern Dark, which I was supposed to do last Halloween, but it was a crazy busy time for me. But it's really tough for me to read stuff like that. Dan over at Mosaic Comics just did a episode on what if Stan Lee created Green Lantern.
I remember. I remember when that came out.
So
Yes.
I remember when it came out. I got the book, I read it, and I haven't read it since. And watching Dan talk about it, I was like, oh yeah, I remember why I didn't revisit this because it wasn't terribly great.
Yeah.
So for me, it's when I read Elseworld stuff, it's a little tough.
Mm.
Like I love one of my favorite things is that when like New 52 happened in DC and everything was like turned upside down, Green Lantern did not change a bit.
Yeah.
The New 52 issue with Sinestro on the cover um, just continued from the previous month in non New 50 pre New 52. So for me, it's like when I read Elsewhere, it's like I really have to like think about it and like try to remember like this is just something else. This is not listen, it's not messing with anything that Jeremy Adams is doing.
Right.
It doesn't affect that.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't affect my love for the characters that I grew up with. Um, it's just mostly it's me just trying to sort things out.
Yeah.
Sort things out. But I'm really interested in this. It's fun, and of course you're ahead of me, but it's fun seeing name drops.
Yes.
This giant lantern, Green Lantern dome thing lands on top of Evergreen,
Yes.
um,
Evergreen.
Evergreen crushes the city. All chaos happens, and there's just a few people left that survived in there. But there's one line in there where they say, "I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure so and so, and Kyle didn't survive either." And I'm like, okay, you're not just going to drop the name Kyle and just keep on going. But they did put in a little bit of doubt there where it's possible that Kyle can't show up later. And it seems like that's what this book's doing. They're including all these Earth Lanterns.
Yes.
No Kelly, no Carrie, no Ellie, no Carrie.
Right.
That's who I meant. Um, not mentioned. That's fine. I'm okay with that. And it was getting to a point where, as I was reading, I'm like, okay, cool. The name Kyle was mentioned, and they said that they may or may not be alive. But we got Hal, John, Guy, Joe.
Yeah. That was the main
Yeah, and then
four.
a mention of a Kyle, and I'm like, this is great. This is great. No word on Jessica, but in issue 6, we do get Simon.
Yes.
And that was a surprise.
Mhm.
And for me, it was a really good surprise. And also, I'm at the point right now in issue 6 where I don't know where his storyline's going.
Yeah.
I don't have any
You're gonna
backstory. Also, I know is he's wearing the mask. It's
yes.
almost the same. It's all
Mhm.
green. It looks like a luchador mask. Um, and he seems to be somewhat well known and may or may not be a superhero already. And I don't know his powers. All I did was see him in a in a in a car phone conversation with Joe's ex-wife,
Yes.
and that's it. And so, but it was really, to be honest, I was really excited to see a familiar face because he's like the only person in this
That
entire thing so
looks
far that looks like our version of the character. He's
right.
wearing a suit, but he's got the mask on like under the suit, so it's like it has a very like luchador feel to it. When
Yes.
luchadors go out in public and they keep the mask on. So I don't know if that's the case.
They do explain that. So I think you are gonna like the
Okay.
yeah, what happens.
Okay.
Yes,
Because I,
that
I
is
honestly,
satisfying.
I honestly, especially with that Justice League Red number 5 that I didn't care for, um, and his sort of lack of appearance in Green Lantern Corps, like I was really excited to see Simon, and he's like not even close to one of my favorite Green Lanterns. He might be at the bottom. It doesn't mean I don't like him. He's just like I like those other guys more, and I like Jessica more, and he comes in right at the bottom, but above Ellie and Kelly. Those I talked to Morgan about them, Morgan Hampton about them if you want to hear about that. But for some reason, like because he hasn't been in Green Lantern Corps and because Justice League Red was kind of a bummer, I was like, oh, it's nice to see a familiar face, and it's almost like the best way to sort of like create Simon fans is to take all us grumpy old men who are like, this isn't my Hal Jordan, this isn't my, John Stewart, like that's not Guy Gardner. Oh, that's definitely Simon Bass, and I could latch onto that, and it's making me enjoy Simon Bass more than ever before. So great.
Yes.
I honestly think that's what is going to keep me going on this book. And I'm
Mm.
hoping he's okay. I'm hoping it's not like, oh boy, Ralph's going to read issue 7 and he gets in the car crash right after he hangs up the phone. Or is he's in the car, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
He and he's wearing the mask, so he must not be able to fly. So I don't know if he has any superpowers, but he's in with sort of this FBI or whatever was it Cass?
The ex-wife,
Yeah.
Cameron Chase, and she is actually a character in the main DC universe. She's like a secret agent also.
Okay.
Like this, she's almost like at X-Files. She's like a Mulder and Scully type of.
Okay.
She works for the Department of Extra Normal Operations.
Great. So yeah, I'm really interested to see how he's involved with all of this because clearly he feels like an established. I don't know if it's a superhero. I don't know what, but
yeah, it's not superhero because the way that the absolute universe works, like everybody's becoming a hero for the first time. Like Batman,
yeah,
you're seeing his origins. Wonder Woman, she starts off in hell and then she has to work her way out of hell, and then she appears on Earth. So all of these little bits and pieces, like Superman, is no one had seen Superman before, so
right.
superheroes hadn't been a thing up to this point. But like I said, that the mask is explained, and I think you will enjoy it.
I think it's a cool suit. Like I like it. I like the suit where he's wearing like a suit and tie with the mask.
Yes,
like I could see like yeah. I think that would be a pretty easy and cool looking cosplay if people decide to do that.
Yeah, and remember I said the art kind of threw me off at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
These later issues, and when Simon starts to appear, the art changes, and I didn't look up the artist, but the art style now is much more pleasing to me. So that's another thing that's making me enjoy.
Is it the same artist? Are you getting used to it, or do you think you're just
they change at some point? Yeah,
okay.
they completely changed because this first artist in this volume 1, it's kind of like a manga style.
Yeah, I'm okay. I was kind of okay with it because I'm like, listen, if they're gonna make these characters and completely flip them around and make them completely different, like it's easy for me to see the artwork be something completely different because if like Zermanico did this, I'd be like, I can't, I really can't, I can't deal with this. Mm-hmm. Like it looks like my guys and they're named after my guys, but none of this makes sense.
Yeah.
So for me,
I can see that. For
me, the artwork helped a lot. And I actually didn't mind it. I thought it was, it's stylized. It's something I hadn't seen before. So I think it helped me personally with the aesthetics. Moving forward, I'm fine with the change. Now that I'm getting used to the characters and stuff, and I'm glad it's working better for you now. That's good.
Yeah, it really helps like grease the wheels, like ease the palate as I'm consuming it. The art style, I think, has a much better flavor to it. I did stumble across an interview with Al Ewing, who is the writer on here.
Yeah.
And he also wrote the cosmic, the absolute evil book that I was telling you earlier, where the villains come together.
Right.
So he is kind of playing in this whole absolute universe, but his specialty really in comics is like horror. So he had a
Right.
run on Incredible Hulk that was amazing, and he's doing what he's calling cosmic horror in this Green Lantern. We've seen it a lot in this first couple issues, but this is a quote, and this is a Ralph quote to me. This stood out to me, and I
Okay.
said, I got to tell Ralph this. So he said, one thing I've been trying to do is make sure that every time we answer a question, we ask two new ones, just to keep that sense of the reader not knowing exactly what's going on. Hopefully, we do the Lost thing better than Lost. So that's what
Okay.
he's going for.
So he didn't have to take a dig at Lost. I get where he's coming from, though. Yes, that's exactly what Lost did. Um, one of the things that I did like about what Lost did, and you can watch the documentary and stuff. Um, Lost can still have conversations today that are still fresh because there are
Mm,
so many questions,
yeah.
a lot of which are answered, and a lot of people who say stuff like, because I still hear it today, it's crazy. I was listening to Matt Gorley and Paul Rust's podcast with Gorley and Rust. They were talking about rollerball on a recent episode, and they Gorley brought up Lost and how they were making it up as they go along. They didn't have anything in mind and all this stuff. And I'm just like, it's still out there. It's so funny how Lost is still sort of I'm not going to say punchline, but it's like a point of reference when it comes to storytelling and mystery.
Yeah.
Um, it's so funny that in 2024 or probably 2020 or 2025, he mentioned Lost. Um, but that's great. I'm totally fine with that. For me, it's just tough because such an established world. Like if
Yes.
Lost crash landed into like onto like literally Gilligan's Island, but now Gilligan was like a gorilla with with that was like had mystical power. Like you know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's
And they're
tough
still
take. It's
calling him
tough.
Gilligan. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, wait, I don't. You're
That's not
let me
Gilligan.
try
Yeah.
to figure out this stuff. And so for
Yeah.
me, that's the kind of a difficult part. Um, I think it's yeah, it does feel like Lost in that sense. Um, but I mean, when Lost came out, I had a podcast about it, and I was able to after each episode discuss it and try to figure it out. With this, I'm reading it and I feel like I'm on my own.
Yeah,
So
I had to go to some YouTube videos, and like I said, I was doing like I was looking up every interview that he did, and I was like, okay, does he explain any of this? But for me, it helped to kind of go over it multiple times, and then I kind of had like a chart, which is great. In issue 6, they have that one page where it shows you all the colors, where it's like
yeah,
black, red, green, yellow, and that really helped me set up. Oh, this is a vertical structure, whereas you and I are used to like the horizontal structure
yeah.
of the colors being across the spectrum. And Al Ewing specifically, he said like I want to have echoes and shades of what you know as Green Lantern, but be completely different. I want
Yeah.
to like have different influences. And he talked about he's agnostic, but he's obsessed with kind of religion, and just he finds it fascinating. So Abin coming down was like he was trying to put this biblical type of thing into it. And I really, once I got the hang of the structure, and like you said, the naming of, okay, instead of Abin being the name, Abin Sur, Abin is like the title, and Tomar
Right.
is a title. And I think I heard it explained, if you're like in thinking in Star Wars terminology, Ain is a Jedi Padawan, Abin is a Jedi Knight. So if you think about the
Yeah.
kind of the structure like that, and Tomar is the anomaly. Um,
So so Chad here says that his problem with the make people feel like they don't know what's going on mentality is that it can be done in a way that's frustrating rather than enticing, and then
mhm.
follows up with, for me personally, absolute GL is firmly in the frustrating zone.
Mm,
So for me, if this was not Green Lantern, if there's no Green Lantern words tied to this, if Quard wasn't the Black Lantern and they didn't mention the
Black
Weaponers,
Hand. Hmm.
like
Yeah.
Quard is like a planet or dimension where Sinestro was banished and the Weaponers made his yellow power ring. So for me, like I find that frustrating because that again, I have to completely rewire
Yeah.
my brain to be able to follow what's going on. And when the word Tomar for me means a fish man from sector 2813,
Yeah.
it's really hard for me to remember. In this one, it means anomaly. And instead of just saying anomaly, they keep mentioning Tomar. And then there's like Abin Rao, Abin. See, I've already forgotten all of them. Abin
Yes.
Sur,
Yes.
and so for
Yes.
me, it's like hard to disassociate with that and have my brain fixate on those terms meaning something else.
Yeah.
So I get it. I'm kind of in the same boat as Chad, as far as it's frustrating, but I feel like I can keep going. It's I've talked about Hades 2 with you a little bit. It's a game that they call a roguelike
Yes.
where you try to go, you can only you got to go through the whole game like in one playthrough. And if you
Yes.
die, you go back to the beginning, you learn some new character stuff, you get some more power-ups and you try it again and you can get a little farther and then you die, you go back to the beginning. Absolute Green Lantern is a roguelike. I
Hmm.
feel like before I don't know when I'll pick up issue 7, but I feel like when I do, I should probably start right back at issue 1 and do it again. So the first for me, the roguelike is I read Absolute Lantern 1 and 2, and it didn't go well. This time around, I went through issue 1 through 6, and I went a little bit better. It was a little bit smoother. I kind of had my footing. I kind of understood it a little bit more. So I think next time I'll have to just go through and like once we get to the second trade, which will probably I'm assuming would be at 12, I would go through start at 1 and then work my way all the way to 12. And I'll treat this book like a roguelike so that every time I go through,
Yes. Ralph is leveling
everything is
up.
it becomes
Yeah.
more clear to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It definitely helps with repetition. And then I have like a cheat sheet of notes, which I was just compiling for this specific podcast. But I think hearing it over and over again, like you said, it kind of rewires my brain of I've had
Yeah.
decades of thinking about the core and how it is and the emotional spectrum. And this, I have to kind of have a separate room in my head of okay, don't think
Yeah.
about the main books. Like this is the absolute universe. And I had a little bit of practice with the Marvel Ultimate because they did the exact same thing,
Right.
and they would drop like you're reading Ultimate Daredevil, you're reading Ultimate Spider-Man, and it's like, oh, Gwen Stacy becomes Carnage in the Ultimate universe, and it's like you have to rewire
Right.
your thinking. So I had a little bit of experience in that, but I get it. I get the frustration because I had that too at the beginning. But I will say it does pay off as you're reading, and where it is at right now, it is like I can't get enough. The I just looked up issue 11 comes out next week, and I'm like, when is the next one? Because
Okay,
they keep leaving you off.
so
Yeah.
probably in February we'll get issue 12.
Ooh.
And then so maybe I'll revisit in February around this time of month, like later February, and check out the rest of them. I have to look at the schedule for DC. What is it? DC Ultimate,
Yes.
Unlimited,
Oh
Unlimited.
yes. Yes.
When those get released, when I have access to them, there's certain things where like I love Far Sector. If you get a chance, go back and watch my episode of Far Sector with Allison Troy, Retro Toy Princess. And that's a book when I first started reading it struggled a bit because the rules for the ring were different.
Yeah.
It was tied to the main universe in some way, but it was a character where we didn't get her origins. We got it sprinkled throughout.
Right.
So for me, the, man, that book. I don't know if you've read it or not,
Yes,
Vactor,
yes.
but
Hmm.
it's like it drops you into this world, and there's these three different main factions of governing bodies, like
Right.
three different races on this planet, and they throw so much just like crazy jargon and space speak, and like it's a completely different world. And the one thing you have to latch onto is Joe, who is a character from Earth, who is a Green Lantern, which I'm okay, I got that so far, but it's not the same ring. It doesn't have a power battery. It the more she uses it, the more it goes down. When she's not using it, the levels, the power levels raise back up and stuff like that. Like it's a whole different thing. So like with that, for me, it took me a while to get used to. And I feel like this one's a little bit more dense
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's asking you, it's answering a question, asking you two more, all while trying to set itself in a world that is completely different than what you're used to. So
Right.
it's a little, I definitely find it frustrating. Found it less so on my second read through on those first two issues, and that helped me kind of get through um, to issue six.
Yeah.
But man,
And
that
this is
info dump by John was a lot. Like I was like, oh boy,
yes,
okay,
yes.
okay, guys, and I think that's a good way to like for them to stop that first trade paperback.
Hmm.
Is here's this info dump for those of you that read the trade, let it sink in. We'll get
Yeah.
the second trade out in a while. Just like it was a lot to take in. So for me, I'm going to be able to like sit with it. And if I don't reread 1 through 6 again, I'll definitely reread issue 6 before
Yeah. Yep.
jumping into issue
That
7 for
is, I
sure.
would say that is the most important because that is the one that I've gone back to the most as I was
Mhm.
doing the research for this. And again, that one page
It feels
of
like a
showing
textbook.
you, yeah, that one is the one that I keep going back to and trying to in my mind and kind of like a second language, trying to learn the alphabet, trying to learn the phonetics of it.
Yeah.
Black is chaotic action, red is restraint from action,
Yeah.
green is correct action, and gold is total understanding. And our universe, we're looking at like the highest level, enlightenment, nirvana, like
Yeah.
as the top. And in this one, it's like, oh, wait,
It's very
chaotic,
spiritual.
yeah, chaotic action is at the top and understanding is at the bottom. Excuse me, but it's I think repetition and thinking about that is interesting. But then also in these later issues, it's kind of it's following Joe more and
Mhm.
it's feeling more like a traditional Green Lantern book for me. I think that's another thing that's kind of helped me is it's not so much in space and talking about all those different things. It's more following Joe and what she's going through and how she's using the green power. So I've been really enjoying that. And I think this is placing another spotlight on her because Far Sector, it wasn't too long ago. It came out in
Right.
2019. It was like right before the pandemic. So she's not in terms of
Yeah.
lanterns, like she's pretty new, but this is an even newer spotlight on
Yeah.
her. And I did a short on my TikTok, and it kind of like people were like, "Whoa, who is this character?" And I was like, "Oh, I didn't realize so many people are not as familiar with her as I am." So I think
Right.
this is another good thing of getting her name out there and placing her as the front as the forefront as the main protagonist, I think was good. And I was reading an interview with Al Ewing, and he was saying in his initial pitch, John was going to be the protagonist, and he
Okay.
said he still wanted him to be like enlightened and the way that he is, but he said I want more of an action, someone a character who's taking action instead of just, "Oh, I'm going with the flow, I'm letting it be." He's like, "I want" that's when Joe came in. So it's interesting the choices that he made for this series.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm curious to see where it goes.
Yes.
So this definitely pushed me to um, a little farther level into this thing. There's a couple of things I want to say before we take off. First and foremost, Comic Jack, I mentioned on the last stream, became a YouTube member. You also can become a YouTube member. It's 99 cents. and it's the only tier there is. And at 99 cents, you get all the stuff. You get the name badges, you get the emojis, and you get the monthly members only live streams. 99 cents helps out a lot for me. Another thing that helps out, which I never really bring up, and I really should, is Chad mentioned a nice hat, Ralph. Now you're giving me ideas. Go to my fourth wall page, which you can get down below. You can even get a direct link to this hat in the show notes. Well, maybe not right this second, but tomorrow it'll definitely be there. Yeah, I have all kinds of Lanterns Live merch, and I've did my version of what a Ferris airline or a Ferris aircraft logo could be like. I like designed one. You can get Ferris aircraft hats, hoodies, bomber jackets, or they're like they have like, or it's like a denim jacket with like the fluffy cotton collar and stuff. Radu's Coffee, the coffee shop below Kyle Rayner's apartment. You can get coffee mugs from Radu's.
Nice.
Yeah, that's all available. So it's Fourth Wall. If you go to Fourth Wall, they're great. They have great integration. I mean, I highly recommend. I don't know if you have this Comic Cooks merch,
Yes.
but do you do it through Fourth Wall?
I love
Okay.
Fourth Wall.
Their integration is amazing.
Their customer service is great too, because I had a problem with a shirt and they like I don't like they reached out to me and they were like, "Oh, we'll just send you another one." I was like, "Oh, okay, thank you." Like so yeah, that I've had some great experiences
cool
with
hat
them.
because it says Lanterns Live on the
Oh,
back.
nice. Nice.
Yeah, I really like this
I
hat.
have to get one of those.
They're pretty nice. Yeah, I have a few different style hats. Check it out. Fourth Wall and Chad, thanks for bringing it up. And if you guys make lantern casts stuff, like yeah, that'd be awesome. I think that's join the Corps. Yeah, it's the honor guard members get all kinds of stuff. I think I'm finally going to do that room tour for February,
Oh, nice.
and it might be a pre-tape because the day that I normally do the live streams, I'll be doing a live stream for Justice League Red 6. I usually do it the first Monday of every month, and this month's going to be a little bit different because otherwise I would have done Justice League Red 6 on the Wednesday, but Wednesday is Tim Sheridan. I'm very excited to have him on to talk about Alan Scott. It's going to be awesome.
Nice.
It's going to be so fun. He's a cool dude. Let's do some plugs. You guys probably already know this, but Vactor, let everybody know how they can follow you.
Yes, if you are on YouTube as you're watching here, or if you're on TikTok, I am at This Comic Cooks, where I'm trying to give obscure characters a spotlight and stories. And I just recently put out a long video. I'm trying to put out more long form videos of Scott Snyder's journey and how he got to Absolute Batman. So kind of going through his history and all of those things. So if you're interested, if you liked what you heard about the Absolute universe in this episode, check out my Scott Snyder episode that I just put out.
And you just released a short about Maxima, who's in the news. Maxima will be appearing in Man of Tomorrow. I'm so excited about that. I'm going to have to learn more about Maxima. And then I don't know if I've talked to you about this or not, but you do pretty obscure characters sometime. Maybe, just maybe, if you're ever like thinking what would be a real fun thing to do, I'm going to toss this into the ring. Which is the Bottler. I don't know if I've mentioned the Bottler to you before.
You have not.
The Bottler is a villain from Silver Age DC that showed up in one issue of Green Lantern, and his gimmick is he's in an orange and yellow costume, and he throws bottles.
Yes, this is perfect.
They have like different. They have like they put in different like chemicals in them, and they do different things. Kind of like Green Arrow's arrows.
Oh yeah, like trick arrows. Yeah, this is great. Yes, I love it.
Like,
all right, the Bottler is coming soon.
You don't have to. I don't even know if there's enough for you to do a short on this dude, but it's always my go-to character when people say favorite obscure Earth villain or whatever they say, like Green Lantern wise. I always say the Bottler. There's like one picture of him on the internet. So if you need more, I have a digital copy of the book and I can do some screenshots.
Oh
but
yeah.
it's so funny, dude. Like
Okay.
it's like
I love it. This is exactly what I love. I love characters like this.
it's an
Yes.
atrocious outfit. It's literally like orange and yellow, and the emblem is just the orange outline of a bottle, like a beer bottle, like a regular bottle. So
Oh, this is
fingers
great.
crossed. Head over to this
Yeah.
comic cooks, hit the bell icon over there so you know when that bottle or short drops. This will be real short. This will be
Five
real
seconds.
short.
Yes. I love it.
Vactor, thanks again. We'll see you soon. Um, when I do volume 2, I'll definitely hit you up
Oh
and let you
yes.
know
Yes.
when
Yeah.
I'm doing
Yeah.
that, and we'll come chat because I think
Yeah.
you have a much better grasp on this book than I do, as far as like how to sort of read it and figure it out and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
thanks for joining me, everybody in the chat. Thanks for joining as well. Go ahead, hit the like. If you're on your phone and you have the hypes available, please hype this video as well. It helps YouTube know that people should be watching this, and I want more people to watch this. So yeah, thank you, everybody, and until next time, beware my podcast. It's Lanterns Live. Bye.